What's up, everybody? Today is day 3 of 30 Days of Inspiration. I'm Joe Longo. You know that because you clicked play on this video. And in these 3 days, there has been a lot of technical difficulties happening with filming and everything that comes along with making this happen. So, last night, my conversation with Sarah, my wonderful Canon camera, decided to only focus on my shoulder and elbow. So that's pretty cool. So I would suggest hit play, minimize your screen, and just listen to the conversation. Thank you so much for being here. Now, into that intro. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Joe Longo. This is 30 Days of Inspiration. Thank you so much for being here. And this is my good friend, Sarra Kaufman.
Hi!
We are going to talk about all the good things. What are you interested in?
What am I interested in?
Music? We can talk about music?
We can. I always like talking about music, but I feel like it'll come off really cheesy because my experience with music is like one of those like soap opera stories. Because like I couldn't sing, like I was a singer and then I lost my ability to sing and became a mime.
Oh, that's where that all came from.
And then I didn't sing and I had vocal surgery and I refused to talk and I would talk like on a whiteboard. And then I went to India and then my speech teacher made me talk. And then
so, if you don't mind me asking, how did you lose your voice? Like what happened?
I got vocal nodules from like really poor singing training. And then I was like a straight actor, and then like I would start when I was at the end of college. I started losing my voice like right before opening night, and I was on steroids, and I was just like I can't do this anymore, and I begged for surgery. And this is right after Julie Andrews like had the surgery and they botched it. And but I got the surgery, and then I was afraid to talk because I thought I was going to sound like a monster. So my speech teacher was like, I think I wasn't supposed to talk for 7 days, and it was like going on 10 days, and she called me and she's like, have you spoken yet? And I was like, mm-mm. And she's like, you have to talk now.
So when did you sing again? Like what?
I didn't sing until 2012 when I left New York. I kind of was like having a crisis with yoga. I was like, how is yoga not dance? Like it just kind of felt like super slow dance, and I was like, what is this? Why are we doing this? So I went to India to explore yoga and then really ended up like connecting with God, and then I was in this like yoga program that I had like quit because I thought it sounded stupid, and then I had like a little bit of a nervous breakdown on the Ganges, and I was like, I actually think I need to be in this program. I was like, I don't need help meditating, I can meditate by myself.
We all think we can meditate by ourselves.
Yeah.
And then someone actually was like, no, this is it. And
yeah.
Like, oh, wow.
Like, yeah, so I went into this program, and then this woman who was like the main singer for the ashram, like we were just like doing 45 minutes of chanting a day. She started singing. She like went like and I just started hysterically crying. And so I basically just memorized all those mantras and through singing the mantras and everything.
Of course, that's it. Of course. And so we're starting.
Okay. It's already going?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Surprise. So I'm Joe Longo. This is 30 Days of Inspiration. And this is Sarra Kaufman.
Hi.
And we're having a conversation about singing and chanting and life, all that stuff. But you just shared a version of the Hanuman Chalisa.
I did.
Oh, that was so good.
Oh, thanks. I've been trying to learn that for 8 years. Now I'm like halfway through.
I remember the first time I heard it, because I'm one of those people that like I can hear a song once and then sing along. Like there are some songs
that's great.
I'll like the song won't even be over and I'll like already be singing along with it. And
that will serve you well with the Hanuman Chalisa.
Well, you see, I thought that. So back in the day when the Hanuman Chalisa first came into my life, Amy, I never know what to say. Amy's my ex-wife, but I hate saying that Amy's my ex-wife. My friend Amy, because we're friends. Like she's the one that introduced it to me, and I was like, she was trying to learn it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'll learn it. I just need to hear it and listen to it. And then I heard it and listened to it. I know there's like, there's those little catchy parts, but then there's those other parts, and I'm like, all right, maybe.
It's very complicated.
Maybe the Hanuman Chalisa won't be as easy as those pop songs.
It's really hard. But then I just learned this line that I've been singing wrong for so long. I thought it was just like a Krishna Das add-in, because it's not on any of the transliterations. I was teaching it to a friend of mine. She's like, "What about that line?" And it was like, I forget what it was. I forget, but I thought it was kind of like, "Sweet Hanuman walks away," like some English sentence.
Right,
and then
right.
She was like, "What about this line?" I was like, "Oh, that's Sanskrit. That's supposed to be Sanskrit."
That's great. That's so like, remember the band Rusted Root?
Yes.
Send Me On My Way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I had a bunch of friends who were like, is he saying something about a whale? Simeon is whale?
Simeon away. I thought it was Simeon away. Simeon away. Simeon away.
I love that band. They're great. You should check them out. They're good.
Bring them back.
Yeah.
They were like my high school. I wore a lot of tie-dye shirts and Umbro shorts listening to Rusted Root.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I remember the Umbro shorts.
Yeah, Umbros are no longer a thing.
Thank God. Thank God. So, did you play the piano?
Yeah, so when I was a child, I was a classical pianist. And I was pretty good, but I really didn't like practicing, so I would practice on a timer, so it was like 45 minutes, and the minute the timer went off, even if it was like in the middle of a song, I'd be like, "Hands off, I'm done." And my teacher I went to piano camp, and we like did piano. I don't know what you do at piano camp. We learned notes.
Piano camp doesn't sound like it would be really that. Like,
It was only me and two other people in my piano teacher's basement.
Oh.
We got a lot of pencils, like cool pencils and erasers. But I was good, and so she made me do competitions, and I really didn't like the competitions. Like, you had to memorize like 10 scales and 10 classical songs, but I remember quitting in like a 13 or 14-year-old rage, where I like got in a fight with my mom and like ripped my book, and she was like, "Fine, you don't have to play again." And then I like tried other instruments, and I just quit. And now I'm like, really?
But you rock out
On the harmonium. My right hand's really strong. My left hand, if you see it on a keyboard, is like I have to physically move it now. It's really slow.
That's okay, because I'm like this.
Yeah, but I would like to play again. I actually tried. I really want to write like pop music. I have a really hard time singing English words.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like my voice sounds comfortable and feels really comfortable in Sanskrit, and then when I go sing like popular music, I feel like my voice doesn't sound like my voice anymore.
Well, what kind of popular music are we talking?
I mean, it's not like I'm not like singing Britney Spears. It's
I was gonna say, are we talking about Britney and?
No, I would love to be able to do that. No, but like what do I like to sing? I like Sarah Bareilles or Nora Jones, or like I like singing like 60s folk music, or like Indigo Girls. I love the Indigo Girls. They're coming to my town this weekend.
Where is your town? Tell everybody where your town is.
I live in San Luis Obispo. It's a teeny tiny town in the middle of California. I didn't know it existed until I drove there.
And then you live there.
And now I live there.
You just happen to drive through.
Yeah.
And like, I'm gonna live here.
Well, I had an astrology reading because I was looking for a place to move that like had a certain energy to it, and it gave me a particular radius from Oxnard, California, and I wanted to be in a small town near mountains so I could mountain bike. But I drive a tiny car, and all my stuff was in the car, and I was in Philadelphia actually having dinner with a friend right before this trip, and I was like, oh my God, wait, what if I like the place? Like, how do I stay there? Like, I don't have a house, I don't know anybody, I can't sleep in my car because all that I can do is sit behind the wheel, and the chair can't go back.
That went too
I don't have a job. It was very like serendipitous, San Luis Obispo.
Awesome.
A little slow.
I was gonna say something else that totally jumped out of my head. I'll cut all
Music?
of this out. Music. Yeah, so I sent you the message about Trevor Paul. Do you like Trevor Paul?
I love Trevor Paul, and I've seen him in concert a bunch. I met him twice. He came to Slow, and I just saw him when he was in Slow, and it didn't sell out, and I was so frustrated because I was like, now he'll never come back here.
Well, he's gonna be here at the end of the month. I've been really trying to get him to be part of this. So, Trevor, can we have a conversation?
Yeah.
I would also love to do it with Trevor and his wife, because Emery is an amazing photographer.
Yes.
You know, I think that would be really fun. And I mean, I love when I quit my job to do all of this. His one album, like every day, came out, like just came out, and it was like this like soundtrack for the change that was happening in my life, and me like having that like one day, just like doing this, what I do now, and then I was on the Soul Shine tour for 2 dates.
Really?
Yeah. And so I photographed it here and in Jersey. And in Jersey, like I'm down in the pit and I'm photographing and I'm so excited, like a little kid. And I'm singing, like everything. Like I'm shooting and I'm singing. And then after we were hanging out and he came over and he was like, "You're the singing photographer." And I was like, that is the best thing anyone's
That's what
ever
you should
said.
write him with. I'm the singing photographer, and I wanted to know if you would sing on my interview.
Right, you don't even have to sing. This is totally, now we're like just pushing after to get Trevor here. But yeah, he's going to be here at the end of the month at the Ardmore Music.
Oh yeah, I've never been there.
Me either.
I would like to go.
So I'm excited. The mosquitoes are really enjoying my head
Yeah,
today.
not me. I have B. I think it's B negative. They're not into B blood.
So you're only in Philadelphia until Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be at Palo Santo.
I'm going to be at Palo Santo for an Ayurvedic immersion program from 1 to 6 on Sunday. I'm so stoked. I literally begged for more time, but they said that would be excessive.
For 1 day, that is.
Yeah,
that
I was
is
like,
long.
so can I have, how many, they're like, how many hours do you want? And I was like, how many can I have?
Can I have all of them?
Can I have the whole day? And they're like, well, we've got classes, and I don't think people want to sit that long. Yeah, I'm excited.
Will it be talking, yoga?
Both. So we're going to do an Ayurvedic yoga practice, which means we're going to practice a simple asana series, and between each portion of the practice we'll do some Ayurvedic self-analysis, and we'll take notes so that after the practice we can have a conversation. It's basically, Ayurveda is sort of the practice of noticing things specifically. And if you notice things specifically, it does two things. A, you become aware of them. And B, it like separates you from your experience in a way that makes you less identified with your experience, so that you'll be more likely to make changes in a way that doesn't feel so dramatic. Because you're like, oh, now I become aware that I'm very hot, so I don't want to continue to be this hot. I will do things that make me cooler, or I won't do things that make me as hot. It sounds very simple, but it's complicated.
Right. Well, that's how it is.
Yeah.
All those simple things are complicated.
Because if it were really that simple, we would all be doing that
Right,
already.
exactly. So, from like the past life that you had,
Yeah.
and then we moved into the yoga, and now Ayurveda,
Yeah.
and it's all yoga.
Yeah.
What, like, when did you know? And you're like, this is what I'm doing. Like, this is like, I'm not going to sit in a cubicle. I'm going to live this kind of life and do this.
I think I was always doing that when I was acting, but I had like a real inflexibility about it. Like, I only wanted to be an actor, and I refused to write or think in any other way. And I remember my acting teacher told me I should be a director, and I was extremely offended. So I was like, I'm an actor, I am not a director. But I think I ended up becoming a director because teaching yoga and working with Ayurveda and working with people, you have to become aware of the whole and then the environment of the whole. And then you try and you observe the current relationship, and then you try and create or direct into a different relationship. And that's basically directing. To sum up a director's job. And I think when I started teaching yoga, there was like a flow to my life. Like, I felt happy in the preparation and in the doing. My studies were like hungry. Like, I feel like I'm starving to learn yoga and Ayurveda, and I'm like insatiable. With acting, I didn't feel this way. I just felt like I was collecting information to become something. And with Ayurveda, I feel like it's so cheesy, but I feel like I'm kind of on a quest, like, and I can't quite see more than like 1 inch ahead of me, and I'm like, it's like when you're lost and you're trying to get unlost, and you're like, okay, so you're like, your sense of smell opens, and your ears open differently, and your eyes like focus differently, maybe, and so that's
when we were running around through the woods
then
up
we're
there, like, where are we?
So I feel like that's when I started I think it's when my curiosity to understand became more valuable than my role in the world. That's when I feel like I realized I was on the right path. And then I'm like, well, I hope this works out. I hope because I feel like I'm running on love and enthusiasm, and I just hope.
Well, I think a lot of us are running
on love and
enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And it's great. Like earlier we were talking about the social media world and looking out and what like the way people look at us. And people will come up to me and be like, dude, it looks like you're a millionaire. I'm like, yeah, I am. But one day. You know, and it's just, but I feel like because I love what I'm doing and I love this, that I feel rich. Like I feel like a millionaire because of it. And that's where, like, that's what makes me keep going and come up with these silly projects. Be like, oh, for 30 days, I'm going to talk to 30 people and create art and do stuff. Yeah. Not because somebody's paying me to do this, because I want to do it, because I want to create. I want to like share the creativity and hopefully inspire someone that might be sitting at home to be like, yeah, I don't have to do that. I can do this. Like I can teach yoga. I can take pictures. I can paint. I can sing. I can write a song.
Yeah. I feel like the enthusiasm that comes from a place of like very simple appreciation is like the kind to follow.
I think that's good.
Yeah. Just follow the thread of your heart's interest.
Follow the thread of your heart's interest.
Yeah, and stay very close to that.
Stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
Be your most authentic self. And you can do this too. So thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be part of this. I felt very honored.
Sarah's great. I will link all of her links. She's becoming more active on the Instagram world.
I am. Yes,
Your Instagram handle is?
Names upon names.
Names upon names. I'll link it right here. And be sure to follow her. She's great. If she comes to your city to teach, go take class with her. Listen to her sing. She has a beautiful voice. And thank you for watching and pressing play. And I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.